Hey everybody, it's Matt. Today is Tuesday, October 15th, around 12:30 p.m. I'm doing this very brief video. I'm not a date setter. I don't even consider myself a watchman necessarily. I've been called a mystic by a Catholic priest. I know a lot of you have issues with Catholicism. I do too. But something happened that I think there's a date jumping from the pages right now, and I want to talk about why and something I started piecing together through the Spirit. But let me flip my camera so you guys can see what I mean. So, very interesting occurrence. I'm going to show you what the photos I took above my house, and this was 2 weeks right before the attacks of October 7th, 2023. And what jumped out at me was I definitely see a red horse here, and even like this face. So to me, this was like a red horse of apocalypse. It occurred. Now Zechariah talks about the red horse being above the myrtle trees, and I happen to have, I'm going to turn my camera, a myrtle tree, so I get this image of this red horse, and you can see in one frame there's no face, but in this frame there's like this kind of demonic face looking back to the left. So there, Revelations talks about a rider of a red horse. That red horse is meant to be war. So 2 weeks after taking this image, we had those attacks that occurred in 2023 against Israel. Now, here's why all this is significant. We've got a full moon coming up on October 17th, which is in 2 days. It's going to hit its peak at 7:26 a.m. Now, 7:26 in Rapture, in Strong's means rapture. But that's not the date that's jumping out at me. Something happened May of... Many of you might know I'm an author on Revelations, kind of apparitions in the skies. But I took this above Arizona. This was May 16th, 2020. Was on a hike with my wife in Sedona. And I had asked God via Mother Mary to draw a infinity 8 in the skies, just to know he was near. And sure enough, he did. You can kind of see it there. I'll scroll down a little bit. I outlined it, but... you can see the Infinity 8 with kind of these enormous wings was drawn. Now, this happened on May 16th, 2020. Why is this significant? Why is this jumping out at me? Well, I did a little math. So the 8th coming up, we're in Tabernacles starting on the 17th with this new moon, with this full moon, which peaks at 7:26 a.m., which happens to mean rapture in Strong's. Now, what's interesting about that Infinity 8, I received it on May 16, 2020. Exactly 1,622 days will have passed until the last day of Tabernacles, known as the 8th day, occurs on 10/24/24. This day is also known as Shemini Atzeret. And I put a link here. There's a gentleman this is why this is interesting, because I'm not the only one honing in on this date. But this gentleman created this video, and it's
which is best, called, chicken or plant protein?
Excuse me, sorry this for that. Is Feast of Tabernacles, Shemini Atzeret could be the rapture day. This is Cross Heart Ministries.
Chicken from 1957.
And so he has a video also honing in on that day. So very interesting, Infinity 8 in the sky, which signifies, eternal life, infinity, everlasting life with God. Occurs on May 16, 2020. Exactly 1,622 days later is the 8th day of Tabernacles on 10/24. Another gentleman from Cross Heart Ministry just does a video recently too about Shemini Atzeret, which means 8th day of assembly being a potential rapture date. Now, not only getting that 8 in the sky, correlating to the 8th day of Tabernacles, which is upcoming on 10/24, but here's interesting. This is why I'm really doing this video, because so many people come after the pre-trib people online. Well, go back and look at John 16. John 16, to me, is fully describing not only the rapture, but tribulation. So look at John 16, verse 21. A woman, when she is in travail, hath sorrow, because her hour is come. But as soon as she delivered of the child, she remembereth no more the anguish for joy that a man is born unto the world. So we as the church, when we're raptured, we are the child being taken into grace, into glorification, into eternity, into infinity, like the number 8. Now let's look at, remember, there were 1,622 days from this 8 appearing in the skies in Arizona to this 8th day, known as the last day of Feast of Tabernacles. Now think of the Bible. What did the Bible say? God said, and on the last day I will raise him up. I will raise him up on the last day. Now let's look at John 16, verse 22. And ye now therefore have sorrow, but I will see you again, and your heart shall rejoice, and your joy no man taketh from you. That, that reminds me of let no man snatch your crown from you. This will be a day of joy. We will be reunited with Jesus in the clouds. We will get our glorified bodies. We will become immortal, incorruptible. Corruptible puts on incorruptible. And so this 8th day of Tabernacles is coming up here, 10/24 of 24. And it's also known as Shemini Atzeret, which means 8th day of assembly. So this is why I'm excited about this day, not just because I'm the one that photographed this Infinity 8 in the skies, which will have been 1,622 days since that apparition to this amazing 8th day of Tabernacles on 10/24. But, it appears from this video, which I'll show the first, at least parts of it.
In the end times, our responsibility as a possible date of departure
here,
for the children of God.
Shemini Atzeret.
This is the 8th and last day of the Feast of Tabernacles.
And I will raise them up
Israel's
on the
war
last
against its
day,
Arab
John
neighbors
6:40.
has grown to new heights, and it looks like World War III could be developing to the point of fulfilling end times Bible prophecy. So the next date we'll look at has many signs of meeting the criteria for the day we have been looking forward to, so we can exit.
And so that date of 10/24 is really interesting to me. Not only that, it's 1 week before Halloween, which we know is Satan's day, the devil's holiday. It will be very much aligned with what's happening. This would be prior to the elections, prior to actual, hopefully, nuclear war occurring, prior to the Antichrist being revealed. So anyways, do we have a date? I don't know. I'm not predicting it, but we're certainly getting messages about 10/24 of 24 being a very important watch date. And I think we should definitely keep an eye on it. Peace, love, hope, light. Let's hopefully see all of you up there. Let's all get saved. I don't think anyone wants to live through what's coming on this earth.